God is a spirit who has manifested himself in Jesus. You should not imagine your God and Creator as a strictly limited being. You should not try to associate him with a form, for then your idea would always be wrong, because something defined can never correspond to my nature, which is utterly perfect, thus infinite. For I am a spirit who fills and permeates everything. In my nature I will be eternally unfathomable for my living creations, for although my living creations were externalized by me in supreme perfection, they are nevertheless only sparks of love, emanated by the fire of my eternal love and externalized as individual beings who, however, would be unable to behold the eternal source of light and strength if I showed myself to them in my full abundance of brilliance, since they would perish if they faced the radiating light. Yet you need not visualize me in any other way than as the divine Redeemer Jesus Christ. In him I became the visible God for you, in him the eternal, infinite Spirit has manifested itself, in him you see me and are able to behold him face to face. Thus, I gave myself a form for you, whom I had externalized from my love and my strength as my living creations. The eternal Spirit who fills all of infinity permeated this form with light and became a visible God for you. And yet I reign and work throughout all of infinity, and thus my being cannot be limited either. I can only have become a conceivable idea in the form of Jesus Christ for you, who are still finite yourselves, who have not yet attained the highest perfection, for I have to give to you what corresponds to your state, which is still far from perfection. However, I am and remain also inscrutable in my nature for the spirits of highest perfection, which, however, is a cause of increased beatitude, because my children constantly strive towards me, are constantly delighted by me through my fulfilling of their desire yet never able to reach me, and on the other hand may behold me from face to face in Jesus Christ. This, too, will remain an enigma to you, and only in the state of enlightenment will you begin to comprehend and yet eternally unable to fathom my nature. To you I appear infinitely far away, and yet I am as close to you as only a father can get to his child. But this awareness makes you immensely happy, and your love for me increases constantly and is also the cause of bliss, because it always meets with fulfillment. And thus, your love for Jesus Christ will blaze ever more ardently, in whom you have recognized your Father of eternity and in whom I bestow unlimited bliss upon you. For in him I am now able to be close to my children, even though I am not bound to the form, even though I fill all of infinity with my light and my strength, with my being, which is and remains inscrutable. But you, my living creations, shall look for and find me in Jesus, for I have chosen him as the form which received me, and this once human external form completely spiritualized itself and yet remained visible to every being which attained the state of maturity of spiritual vision. Thus, you see my eternal Spirit when you see Jesus, for he and I are one. You see the Father when you see Jesus, because I wanted to be visible to you, my created beings, in order to gain all your love. Yet you will never be able to behold me in my infinite abundance of strength and light without ceasing to exist. But I want to be able to create and work with my children and thus also reveal myself to them in order to heighten their beatitude. And I want to experience their love myself and therefore will always be close to my children. Amen.